And remember, this is a call-in show, so you, the viewers, can directly call out the numbers that we are flashing there at the bottom of your screens. Pick up your phones, give us a call and tell us what you think about this big story that we are getting for you. Now, when some Pakistani distributors approached Aamir Khan to release Dangal in their country, he had no qualms about it. But then the Pakistan censor board stepped in and demanded the climax scenes to be edited. They wanted the Indian flag scene removed and the part where the national anthem is played to be chopped as well. Well, decisions which did not sit very well with the producer Aamir Khan, who felt that the scenes were not jingoistic in nature but were essential to the script. Nor did the sports biopic or the scenes have any direct or indirect reference to Pakistan. Hence, Aamir Khan refused the demand and the film is not going to be releasing in Pakistan. Now, this is a call-in show. We are asking you about Aamir Khan's stand. He's very sternly put profits behind and said it's going to be patriotism firm. A very tough time stand which is being taken. Now, also, the larger question is, remember all the Pakistani films, all the Pakistani serials which are currently airing as well on Indian channels. Interestingly, none of them are edited. India doesn't have any qualms about giving a free run to Pakistani serials in India. Then why is Pakistan so very scared of Indian patriotism visible enough screens? Well, that's the big question. You can pick up your phones, give us a call at the numbers there flashing at the bottom of your screens. In fact, Mohit Bhatt, my colleague, is joining us with more on this. Mohit, quite an interesting development which has taken in. What are the specific reasons which Aamir Khan has cited for not releasing his film Dangal in Pakistan?
Well, yes, Dangal was to release in Pakistan, but the Pakistani censor board clearly demanded that the scene with Indian national flag and also a scene where the Indian national anthem is being played in the background music, that should be removed from the movie. But Aamir Khan had a strict stand and he clearly stated that he would not be removing any scenes that Pakistani censor board is demanding. And also he said that these two scenes are a part of a movie and that they form a part of a movie, a very integral part of the movie, and he won't be removing these two scenes, even if the Pakistani censor board does not say yes for releasing this movie. So clearly we see that Aamir Khan has taken a rigid stand. He has said that he won't, it doesn't matter if the movie is not released in Pakistan, but he will not be removing these two scenes. Now, last year when the Uri incident happened, the Indian government banned, India banned all the Pakistani actors to work in the Indian movies and the serial. There was huge controversy over this issue, and same was being reciprocated in Pakistan, where there was a ban on Indian movies, but then this ban was later lifted. Aamir Khan, Salman Khan, Akshay Kumar, these are the actors that are being loved in Pakistan also. So there was this demand that they wanted to see this Dangal movie from Aamir Khan, but then the Pakistani censor board clearly demanded that the two scenes in which Indian flag is being raised and moreover another scene in which Indian national anthem is being played should be removed by Aamir Khan. But Aamir Khan said that he won't be removing.
Well, in fact, Mohit, do stay on with us. Mohit, I'll just come back to you. In fact, Ashok Pandit, a filmmaker, is also joining us. So let's get Bollywood's perspective also in this. Well, Mr. Pandit, of course, Bollywood's been in the news for the good as well as the bad. But what kind of a precedent does this set? The fact that an actor such as Aamir Khan, and a very big film personality, of course, has taken a stand like this. No national anthem, no release.
I think I would like to compliment and congratulate Aamir Khan for taking such a decision, and you need guts to, take this kind of a call, because it matters. It really calls for a lot of finance and a lot of money. Here,
it's a lot of profits that he's given up on, hasn't he? Mr. Ashok Pandit, he's given up on a lot of profits he would have made in Pakistan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So first, I wanted to compliment him. I want to compliment him for taking his call. And our, thought process, what we have been fighting right from day one, that against the Pakistani performance. Now that Aamir has taken a decision, I would like to make an appeal to all the Pakistani artists, actors, directors who used to work here in India to rise up and request the censor board of Pakistan to see to it that the film is released the way it is. The way we do in our country.
Absolutely, the way a lot of people in Bollywood stood up for the Pakistani actors.
That's what I'm saying. So it's always a lesson for us to understand that this is not the way Pakistan performers, actors behave. And this kind of a line that art is beyond politics is all a matter of facade, and it's all nonsense. So where it comes to the country, where it comes to the nation, everybody is equal, and everybody should first give preference to the national integrity, national emotions, and then go on other lines of calling yourself an artist and what so.
Well, in fact, that's a very interesting point, Mr. Pandit, that you've raised, and request you to stay with us. Let me put your question directly across to Mr. Arslan Bhatti, who's also joining us, the editor of Pak Dunya News. Mr. Bhatti, Ashok Pandit, they're saying that the entire film industry stood up at the time of the government banning Pakistani artists. They said that they have to be allowed. They stood up in solidarity, despite the fact that their films too were targeted and attacked. Do you think we ought to have something similar in Pakistan, where the people there, the viewers who want to watch Dangal, for example, stand up against the censor board and say that let it release the way it is?
First thing I'm saying that the film industry in both the countries should be free of political pressures, should free of politics. There should not be any politics. Anybody involved on both the sides should ban or speak against any of the actor or actresses, because they are the ambassadors of both the countries. They have nothing to do with the politics. There should not be any criticism. There should be any ban on actors in both the countries if they are working in any of the countries.
Now, Mr. Bhatti, what do you make of the censorship, the censor board of Pakistan, which wants the clipping of the national anthem? Now, I agree with you, absolutely agree in spirit with you when you say that films are, after all, a bridge between our two countries, which have seen so much of enmity, and the one possible bridge would be our artists and our films, which is why it's even more important for these films to be shown en toto.
About the censor board, because we have own norms in Pakistan, we have our own censor board. India has its own censor boards. Whatever fits in India, it doesn't mean that the same thing is fit in Pakistan. So if censor board asks some scenes or something to be not carried in the film, there is no harm in it.
No harm in it. But Mr. Bhatti, if there is something which is obscene, if there is something which is way too graphic or may just hurt someone's sentiments, then it's understandable. However, the only reason why that film screen, the last scene needs to be chopped up is because it's got the Indian national anthem. Is that a big crime in Pakistan, which is going to offend people, apparently?
I'm not saying this is not the overall decision of the censor board. This is again after giving very reasonable thought to this. The censor board has to remove anything which is obscene. But about the national anthem, if there is anything against any country, including Pakistan, there is no harm in it if national anthem or a song is removed.
No harm in it. In fact, I request you to stay with us, sir. Mr. Bhatti, we'll just come back to you. This is a call-in show. Several of our viewers want to join in as well. And of course, Mr. Ashok Pandit's also there. We'll just go back to him. But there is Pankaj, who's calling us from Faridabad, one of our viewers. Go ahead, Pankaj. What do you think?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First of all, I'd like to really compliment Mr. Aamir Khan for the very strong stand that he's taken. And it's really a wonderful thing that he said that profits are not so important as patriotism is. And I would just like to say that I do not know why the Pakistani censor board is trying to arm twist Mr. Khan and tell him to cut off those scenes, because I don't think it is fair. Because had there been, say, a movie from some other country where the national anthem was going on, would the Pakistani censor board do the same thing?
That's quite interesting. If there's an American national anthem, for example, in some film which is being played, has Pakistan actually censored those films as well? And it is quite predominantly there in several of the films coming in from other states as well. You made a very relevant point. Of course, Mr. Arslan Bhatti will be put that question. But before that, another one of our viewers, Mr. P.P. Vasant, is calling us from Bengaluru as well. Go ahead, Mr. Vasant. What do you think?
Hi. Thank you very much. I'd like to tell Mr. Bhatti and all people in Pakistan that first and foremost, we are very proud of our Aamir Khan. He is a patriotic Indian who has made one of the finest movies anyone has ever seen. And it's based on a true story about an Indian wrestler whose daughters are Indian. And in that scene, the scene is in India. There is no Pakistani wrestler whom she has beaten for these people to feel diffident about. It's, I think, a wrestler from the UK or something to that extent. And
there's no derogatory reference
country,
to Pakistan.
Absolutely none whatsoever. In fact, we have. I think this is bringing things down to the level of bigotry, forgetting the fact that we were all one people.
You've made a very relevant point there, Mr. P.P. Vasan. Thank you so much for calling us, because you've been obviously very articulate and you've made very relevant points. I'm going to be putting that across to Mr. Bhatti as well, but we are trying to incorporate as many viewers as we can in our show. There's also Kalpana Ravi, one of our regular viewers, who's calling in. Go ahead, Kalpana. What do you think?
Good morning, Meghna.
Good morning.
I think it's a great move by Aamir Khan for taking this stand. But I think if Pakistan's getting too jittery or I don't know what. But also is, Meghna, I need to tell you that, everything done by Bollywood has to be taken with a pinch of salt, because tomorrow you don't know what somebody will say. So, but appreciate this move of what Aamir has done. And
he's given up a lot of profits for this.
And he doesn't give in to any pressures or anything like that. So kudos to him. But, Bollywood is little suspect. So, I wouldn't congratulate the whole of Bollywood, but I would congratulate Aamir on this for taking a stand. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Kalpana, for calling in. There's another caller coming in from Bengaluru, Praveen Kumar. Go ahead, Praveen. What do you think?
Hello, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
morning.
I feel that, Pakistani actors should be banned from acting in Bollywood. Pakistan has constantly been violating, the border violations. They've been constantly provocating Kashmir, and they have also declared Gilgit-Baltistan as their fifth province. So there's been constant provocation by Pakistan against India. So that's the reason, be it IPL or Bollywood or, sports or, anything for that matter, even business with Pakistan has to be condemned. And, it's high time that Bollywood fraternity understands this and ban all Pakistani actors and technicians and any other professionals working in Bollywood and India. So this is my opinion.
Well, that's already happened. However, the big question is, when Pakistani serials also, remember, have a free run in India, why is Pakistan trying to censor Indian films? Well, in fact, let's get your reaction from one of our parliamentarians, D. Raja of the CPI.
I think he has taken a correct position. One should appreciate the position taken by the actor at this point of time. I think he has taken a correct position. One should appreciate the position taken by the actor at this point of time.
They're coming in from Aamir Khan from all quarters. All our viewers have been congratulating him, and so have our netas. Now, Mr. Bhatti is still with us, but Mr. Ashok Pandit, if I can come back to you, what Mr. Arslan Bhatti had said as to what's wrong if our censorship, which is Pakistan censorship, as he says, that if Pakistan censorship has certain guidelines and rules that they are following, what's wrong? Should they not have the freedom to follow whatever they think or snip what they think is wrong?
See, with due respect to Mr. Bhatti, when you asked a pertinent question to him, he went around the corner and he said the same thing which we normally expect from somebody from Pakistan, whether he's educated or uneducated. One of your callers put a very intelligent question that this national anthem would have been America's national anthem. Would Pakistan censor board do the same thing? So the enmity of Pakistan towards India remains. So my call or my thoughts, which the film industry normally reacted. Now, all those people who have minted crores in India, all those Pakistani actors, singers, musicians, who have really made money in India, I would like to request them to stand up and tell the government whether the government agrees to them or not.
Absolutely.
Let them stand up and condemn this act of Pakistan of asking to delete the Indian national anthem.
Absolutely.
Then we will say The problem is the lectures are given to us. Everything is told to us that, art is beyond politics. As Mr. Bhatti was saying, that politics should not be. It's not politics. It is nationality. This is how Pakistan has been always behaving with us. So don't give lectures to us. We have people.
In all fairness, Mr. Pandit, we all know what would happen to Pakistani actors living in Pakistan to come out and openly condemn their government.
No.
They would feel the repercussion, and perhaps which is what scares them. And in fact, let me go across, Mr. Pandit, you raised that question. Let me put that across to Mr. Arslan Bhatti. Mr. Bhatti, what really is so offensive about the Indian national anthem? Clearly, no other country's national anthem, be it the American or anywhere else, is offensive to the Pakistani censor board. Why is the Indian national anthem so very sensitive? If that is not politics, what is?
Let me say this. Indian censor board has its own guidelines and laws. Same is the case with the Pakistan. If anything is not deemed fit in Pakistan, how could censor board pass it? Now, you said about national anthem. There is no harm in it. In my view, in my personal view, there is no harm in it when any English movie runs on cinemas in Pakistan. If there is a national anthem of America, national anthem of England, national anthem of France, national anthem of even China.
All of that would be censored?
No, there should not be censored. But because there is trust deficit between the two countries, that is, one is Pakistan and the other one is India, everything which is taken into account, if anything goes wrong, immediately the reaction is coming. One of the guy on your TV was saying Pakistan actors should be banned. There is no harm in it. If you want to do this, we are ready. But I already said there should not be politics. The person was saying there is a nationalism. Of course there is a nationalism. Then nationalism is only with India, no sir. This is with Pakistan also.
In fact, let's get in another big voice from Bollywood who's joining us, Mukesh Bhatt. Of course, this is a call-in show. Several of our viewers have been calling in. One of our viewers, Rakesh, is calling us from Pune. Rakesh, do hold that line. We'll just come back to you. But before that, let me go across to Mr. Mukesh Bhatt. Now, Mr. Bhatt, if you've just heard what Mr. Arslan Bhatti was saying, essentially, that no other country's national anthem is offensive per se, but when it comes to India's national anthem, given the trust deficit between the two nations, that's what makes it so sensitive. Your reactions on that?
I feel this is a very regressive way of thinking. You are living in the 21st century. You look at a film which has got an emotional quotient in the climax. I don't understand how the Indian national flag can upset anybody, any person, the common man from Pakistan or vice versa. I feel this is both the governments need to sit down and act a little more maturely than the way they have been functioning. It's quite ridiculous. We are living in 21st century and you are having such ridiculous censorship cuts for reasons beyond imagination. I feel for any creative person, it is a very frustrating and a very sad episode.
So there's more of creative license which you feel, or rather Aamir Khan got offended with the fact that his essence of his film itself is being removed, or do you think that it is a more conscious patriotic stand, Mr. Bhatt? Because we know the kind of controversies, unfortunately, in the past that Aamir Khan has been embroiled in. It's important for him to also pitch patriotism.
Listen, if in case you should see an American film, and if an American soldier feels patriotic towards America, that he's fighting a war with the Germans, there's nothing wrong in it. But in this picture, Dangal, while Aamir Khan shows patriotism for his country, he is not demeaning Pakistan.
Absolutely. In fact, let me put that across to Mr. Arslan Bhatti as well. Mr. Bhatti, there is nowhere where Pakistan's been shown in a bad light. In fact, the two protagonists there in the movie aren't even competing against Pakistan per se. So, what really is the problem? Is the problem only the fact that Indian patriotism is visible on the film?
No, this is not the question. Several films came to Pakistan in the past and we showed it on our cinemas. Everything is there.
Then help us understand the problem. Even Mr. Bhatti, we can't understand what the problem is.
The same is the case with if there is any scene or anything which is not fit in Pakistan or which is not fit for seen in Pakistan for Pakistani viewers, that should be cut down. There
I
is no
absolutely
harm in it.
agree
I
with
have
you.
already said
Anything
this.
obscene needs to be censored. Why is the Indian national anthem obscene then?
No, I am not saying the Indian national anthem is something. Sorry to say this. There is nothing harm in it. There is the national anthem is your national anthem. Our national anthem is our national anthem. But if there is any scene in it, I'm saying it again, please quote, if there is anything wrong which is not fit to be seen for the viewers in Pakistan, there is no harm in it in cutting down. Because we have our
But
own
what is
policies,
offensive?
we have
Again,
our own
Mr.
laws.
Bhatti, let me put the same question that I have been trying to get a straight answer from you. What is offensive about the Indian national anthem? At the end of it, and this of course is based on true stories, when an Indian player wins at an international event, the national anthem is played. What's obscene? What's what's objectionable in it? Whom is it offending?
I already said, I said this. Already told you that if there is any obscene during the national anthem, I'm not saying the national anthem is obscene. Sorry. National anthem there is nothing wrong in it. But if there is any scene which is filmized in the national anthem that is not fit for the viewers in Pakistan, should be censored. There is no harm in it. Even
Mr. Bhatti, you're not really giving me a clear-cut answer there. But for the timing, let me also quickly get in one of our viewers who's been holding on for very long, Rakesh, who's calling in from Pune. We'll just come back to you, Mr. Ashok Pandit, Mr. Bhatt, as well as Mr. Bhatti.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for taking me online. Firstly, I would like to say Pakistan does not function at this point of time under a democratic government. It has been run by a parallel economy, and every politician, I think, is sitting on a time bomb. So they have to decide like this, and they have to do decisions are taken in that way. Secondly, with Aamir Khan, he's not doing a favor by not allowing that movie to be launched in Pakistan. He keeps changing goalposts very, very often. I think last time he wanted to leave the country, but it is sad. Like they are more businessmen who are making movies and want to earn money.
But in this case, don't you think, Rakesh, that Aamir Khan has given up on a lot of profits by taking a stand such as this? He would have made a lot of money if he had just edited out one little scene from his movie and released it in Pakistan. He would have made a lot of money out of it. That would have been a good businessman.
There's always change in the government at this point of time. There's so much changing in India. Naturally, you have to go towards where the way is. So I think he's taking that decision based on by the local domestic changes what are happening in this country.
Okay,
so
thank you so much.
I
think you've made your point that Aamir Khan's being careful. However, of course, he is not new to controversies either. Well, Mr. Mukesh Bhatt, we've been speaking to Mr. Bhatti. I didn't particularly get a straight answer for it. Do you think this is more about politics than anything else? At the end of it, it's not about offending anyone. It's not about anything obscene. It's just mere plain politics. Mr. Bhatt.
You will not get a straight answer from him because he doesn't have a straight answer. The problem is that he doesn't have an answer. How can he give you a straight answer? And as far as Aamir Khan is trying to make money and all that is all bullshit. If you wanted to make money, you would have cut the scene. I take offense to what Rakesh said. It's very sad that our people can be so prejudiced and vindictive towards a person who is feeling very nationalistic about the project and the film. How can you mislead a person so wrongly?
Well, I agree with you there. I agree with you there, Mr. Bhatt. Very clearly, Aamir Khan this time around has put patriotism over profits. There's no two ways of viewing this story. Well, we leave it there. Unfortunately, we completely run out of time, but it's been an interesting show to have hosted Mr. Ashok Pandit, Mukesh Bhatt, as well as Arslan Bhatti, and all you very articulate viewers for joining us in this show. Thank you so much. With that,